have before us may confuse some people because this is a GT.
It's an 89 GT Mustang.
Yep. And it looks like a GT with just mesh wheels, but it's more than that.
It's a really, really different and neat car.
Yep.
And like you've seen, part of the PAS collection is having weird, strange cars that still add to the history of the Saleen Mustang.
Yep. And this one, I see California Edition.
Correct.
Right
There's an
back here.
interesting story about these cars. In 1989, the California Ford dealers were having an issue because we were in a recession with selling cars.
Yeah.
And Ford had built a glut of white GTs stick with a sunroof, and they were having problems selling them. So the Ford dealers got together and said, what if we contacted Steve Saleen and maybe he could help us, or he would buy these cars and convert them into Saleen Mustangs? Well, as we all know, they didn't use the GT chassis. There's
Right.
one car that we know of that was Saleen-ized, that had Saleen parts put on a GT, but it wasn't the norm. So the Ford dealers agreed to send the cars to Saleen. There were 50 cars total, and they got springs and shocks. They got the 4-bolt variant of the same style wheel they ran on the other cars.
16-inch, right?
16 by 7s.
Yep.
And they got the General XP2000 tires. And they had a special sticker on the side. They took the 5.0 emblem off that said Racecraft Suspension by Steve Saleen, California Edition sticker on the back, and then a placard in front of the shifter that said that it was built by Saleen. Now, these are not serialized cars, okay? But they were still part of the Saleen family. We kind of felt like it was an important enough piece of Saleen history that we wanted one. And I stumbled on this car a few years ago. It was an original owner car, and it was in Michigan. And I'm like, how could it be in Michigan when all the cars were originally sold in California? Well, the gentleman who we bought the car from lived in Northern California, and he bought the car, shipped it with him when he moved to Michigan, and it was in a garage covered with tarps and all kinds of stuff. It has under 12,000 original miles on it. The original tires completely untouched. And it basically looked like this, other than a minor detail, when it showed up.
And it's just, the paint is really, like for white, it's like the other cars, the SSC. It is not aged at all. It's still bright white. Because this is code 9L, Oxford white. I know that because I've had a white 89 Saleen, and it sat outside a long time. It got dingy.
Well, some of the urethanes, they'll kind of have a tendency to turn yellow, and for some reason, the sides, rubber pieces will tend to turn yellow. And these were a little bit yellowed when I got it, but there's a few tricks I've learned through the years of how to bring things back, and I managed to get the yellow haze off the side.
But it's something that a lot of people don't realize, that this was touched by Saleen. There's also what was called, after this, I think it's in the 90 to 93 range, a GT Sport.
The GT Sport, correct.
Yeah, and so there are cars out there outside of what looks like a Saleen that Saleen had a hand in directly, and it's unique to see cars like this because it could be mistaken for someone who bought it and just lowered it and put wheels on it, and it's not that. It's a little more than that.
Well, the other thing to add to that too, Bob, that was so unique about this car is the fact that, it's hard enough to find a nice original unmolested, untouched Saleen, but to find one of these that they made 50 of them that most people would consider not as special as a Saleen Mustang because it wasn't serialized, and you would think that the guy that bought this, he didn't spend as much money as the person that bought the Saleen Mustang. Maybe they wouldn't care for it as much, but that wasn't true with this particular car.
This one is definitely well cared for. I mean, everything's still here. Pull shade for the back. Like you said, was the placard. Yep, it's actually the same location as what the Saleen Mustangs are on the console. But it's unique. I will say I like a lot of people don't like the GTs from 87 to 93. I do. I like the way it looks lower around. They are heavier. But I owned one. It was one of my first 5-liter Fox Mustangs. This looks absolutely stunning.
Well, thank you. It was something we felt like we needed to add to the collection. I'm still looking for a GT Sport. If anybody has a GT Sport out there that's a really nice car that wants to sell it, you can certainly reach out to us. we're always looking to buy cars and add to the collection also.
Okay, great, cool. Hey, if you don't know, go to performanceautosport.com. There's contact info for Mark there, email, phone number. But the cool part about this car is, like you said, there are Saleens that were bought and tucked away, but to have one of these bought and tucked away by the original owner, and for you all to just pull it out of the original owner's hands, that's pretty amazing. It's definitely.
It was an exciting day when it showed up. I was a little bit nervous. I wired the guy the money for the car, and he was an older gentleman, and he wasn't necessarily keen on pictures. So I was sort of like, went on the pictures he had, and I'm hoping when the door came down to the hauler that it was what it was supposed to be, and it was actually more.
So, Mark, you said it with the Saleen pieces. I'm going to assume, and I ask it would be the same pieces used on a Saleen Mustang to lower them, lowering springs.
Correct. It's the same springs you could buy that they put on the production cars you could buy from the parts department.
Yeah, okay.
The one thing that's really different about this car compared to a quote-unquote normal Saleen Mustang is the rear wheels are inset so much more because the normal car had the disc brakes, and so it always put the wheels out about another inch.
Yeah, that's right. The Saleen cars use what would be, quote, SVO or Lincoln rear, which is
Correct.
Wider. This is just your drum brake.
Just the drum brake standard rear.
Yeah.
With, these wheels were actually the same wheels that you could buy from American Racing and put on your car. My 85 GT, I had a set. Well, Saleen didn't put the S logo on these because, again, it wasn't a serialized Saleen.
Yep.
And I think it would have been kind of cool if they had done, a California edition sticker for the cars, but I've never seen that. As far as the pictures I have of the car when it was new, it had these on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, and it's cool that, really, it's kind of neat to have some people grouped together and approach Saleen. It speaks volumes about what Saleen was doing at the time, and trying to make a better handling car. Because the Formula GP shocks and struts for their day were probably some of the best on the market and comparable to Coney, Bilstein, however you say it too. So it's a very unique thing to see dealers approach an aftermarket. Well, it's not aftermarket.
Well, so you hit the nail on the head. This is the first time, to my knowledge, that someone from the outside approached Saleen, being a small volume manufacturer, to help them with selling cars. Now, it happened again when Saleen worked with Ford and did the assembly on the Ford GT. So that's why I kind of felt like this piece was neat, because it was the first indication that Saleen could vary outside of the box. Just building his own cars, he could then use his company in order to do things for other people.
Yep, that's cool. That's way cool. The General tires, these are 100% original to this car, right?
Yes, they are. The date code matches right around the car when the car was produced.
Yep. So these are roll-around tires, not drive.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to drive on these. They still look good, but I imagine in and out of the car trailer is probably as far as we want to go.
Yeah.
When I had this car down in our facility in Richmond, I actually had another set of wheels I put on the car so I could drive it some and take it to Cars and Coffee and use it a little bit to make sure everything was okay before we brought it down here and put it into the collection.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And the interior appointments are the same. There's nothing I see that jumps out at me other than the placard.
There are no Saleen names on the gauges or anything. If you were sitting in this car, other than the shifter plaque, you would think you're in a GT Mustang.
Yeah, yep. Same interior from the 89s. Looks great. Again, the paint is phenomenal. White paint, this stuff gets powdery just like the reds from that day with a single stage.
Remember, that's single stage, correct.
Yep.
So it doesn't take much to mess it up. And I was really happy when, like I said, when it rolled off the truck, it wasn't filled with acid rain, which is very common. These cars would sit on the dealer's lots and the paint would get ruined just sitting there. And obviously, being a California car, they didn't have as much acid rain as they had in other places in the United States. And the gentleman told me he never drove the car in the rain, which it looks like it's never been driven in the rain.
Yeah, I know that over the years that's gotten better out there as emissions have gotten under control, but in the 80s, acid rain was a big deal. It pitted a lot of cars. Even brand new cars, like you say, are sitting on the dealer lot. Or sometimes Saleen had a plethora of cars over at their lot where they were building them, and they would sit for a month or so. And if it rained, it would hurt the paint.
What else do you notice about the back of this car? Same thing we've noticed in some of the other cars. No rear defroster.
Oh yeah, none. You're right. Huh.
Being a California car, you don't need a rear defroster.
One would hope.
Yeah, well, it did snow in Texas recently, so you never know.
Yep.
Yep.
So.
But we really appreciate you allowing us to get this down off the rack and look at it. And we felt like it was a really important piece of Saleen history and wanted to be able to share it with everybody, because this is not the car that you're necessarily going to see at a car show. There is one club member that has one that's now starting to bring it out, but it's a pretty rare piece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. Like you said, there's 50 made, so there are more out there, probably varying condition, mileage. If you've got some that you know about, comment below. We definitely would love to see some of those stories. And Mark, man, thanks for bringing this one out.
Bob, thank you for allowing us to show you some of our toys.
Cool, awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tag, and share. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Mark, thanks so much for having us here at the bunker, as you call it. Really appreciate you letting us be a part of this. How can people find you?
Probably the easiest is through Facebook. I do monitor that a little bit quicker than the website. We also have a website at performanceautosport.com, but feel free to reach out. Try to return messages as quickly as possible, but as you can imagine, after doing these videos, we're getting a few.
Yeah.
Definitely. But we're happy to help if you need any help with consultation with a collection you have, 1 or 2 cars you have, help with an insurance company. We're there. We also offer appraisals, and we're always looking to buy cars. So if you have anything that's for sale that you think might be looking good on one of these racks in here, feel free to reach out.
Thanks so much for having us here, man. Reach out to Mark. Be sure to go to puristmotorsports.com. There's some content there. We're trying to get a lot more there. That's why we're working with Mark. We want to bring information to you all of stories. There's a couple of stories of cars that have been rescued. One particular is a Saleen. The other one is a full-on, dead-on, accurate clone. You got to check it out. So go to puristmotorsports.com and make sure you subscribe.
Also, if you want us to come out and look at your collection or help, reach out to Bob, because we're more than happy to come out and feature your collection or your group of cars.
Yeah, it'd be fun. That would be a great time. Thanks, Mark. As always, whether you're driving them or restoring them, always enjoy them. Peace.